Balls. Well, Wayne Steele here, and I got something that's been it's been messing with my head here last few weeks, couple months. Since last time I was able to hijack this here YouTube vision channel, and I know last time I was talking about women, and I still be talking about women. I mean, there's something that people just don't seem to understand anymore, and that's where the woman's place is. And the woman's place is to do whatever the man says and just to take it. And I've been seeing all this nonsense on them there internets about these people getting all upset about bills that's being passed in states about stuff that pertains to women's rights. And the thing is, women ain't got no rights. They's like midgets. Actually, they don't even have the midgets the same rights that a midget's got, because the midget's at least half a human. It's half a man, and so they get half the rights that men do. But women, they women. They're supposed to be sitting around barefoot in the kitchen getting preggers and stuff, and popping out babies from me and carrying on the bloodline. And I don't know what these women be thinking that they've actually got some kind of say in what goes on in their lives and in this world. It's craziness, that their feminism. It blows my mind. And so what I was thinking, the thing that, hey, look, there's high water. I don't see no high water. Oh, it's over there in that there yard. But there be these women, like over on the East Coast, or is it, holy crap, there's a bus. These women over in West Virginia, and I want to say maybe South Carolina, maybe North Carolina, I don't know where else it is. I mean, they be getting pregnant, and then they don't want to keep their child. They be wanting to get abortions. And I mean, that abortion rating, that's just a blight on humanity. And that's what's wrong. One of the things that's wrong with America is these women being able to go out and get, and like they actually own their bodies, like they have a say-so in what's going on. And so now they got them their right to abort them their children, and they be fussing now because in order for them to get their children aborted, they got to go through this counseling process, and they have to get these ultrasounds, that's what they are. There's ultrasounds where they x-ray them bodies, and they can tell them how big the baby is, so they can go, oh look, it is a baby. It ain't just this mythical creature that's growing in my stomach. Because people's stomachs just up and grow. It's like they're getting fat or something. I don't know what they be thinking. I mean, why would you think that thing growing in your body ain't no human being? It's just, it's insanity, man. That's just insanity. And so they're getting all up in arms about this rape that they be getting, that they be having to submit themselves to in order to be getting their abortions. But they're committing murder, so why should they care if they have to get raped in order to commit their murder and get rid of these things that they don't be wanting? So I mean, I think it just be fair trade and stuff that they be doing that. But so the West Virginia, they go and get rid of that rape law, as the women folk put to it, and so then they come up with this new thing that has a counseling, and they have to get this less intrusive ultrasound of sorts, so they can be getting their abortions done. And the thing is, I mean, don't they got to run some tubes or something up in their bodies, up through their vaginal regions in order to do the abortions? So that just don't make no sense to me. It's like you're willing to let them rape you for that, but then whenever you're going to be doing it, you're not willing to take the raping in order to find out if you actually want to do it or not, to go through the counseling and stuff. And I mean, that just don't make no sense to me. That just ain't American. That just ain't Christian, if you ask me. I mean, you be going, I mean, just look in the good book, and it tell you that the women's role is to have sex with the man and make the man's babies. That's what they're there for. They're to carry on the seed. And so, I mean, a woman was made from man, therefore a woman's supposed to do what man tells them to do. And it just don't make no sense that these women start thinking that they actually have a say-so in what's going on. And so then, there's this other thing I saw today on the internet. It's a reality TV show. I mean, don't even get me started on reality TV shows. I mean, that ain't no reality. Man, I ain't ever seen nobody where you got 14 women living in a house and one guy and he has to pick one of them. That sounds like a harem to me. I mean, what kind of red-blooded American ain't going to be tapping all of them and then just whichever one's best is the one that he stays with the most, but he gets to keep all the women's? I mean, that's just silly to me, the bachelorating show and stuff. And then they gave one for the women, the bachelorette. I mean, really, man, that just don't make no sense to me. But anyways, I got distracted. It was it's a video game and reality show from Capcom, and you know, the guys who make the Street Fighter video game, which I ain't never seen no street fighting done where there's this green guy who can electrify stuff and spinning balls and fly across the world, or a sumo wrestler who can make his arms 12 feet long. I mean, who's going to be the man who can make his arms 12 feet long where somebody can throw fireballs at you? That just, it just ain't realistic, those crazy Japs. But anyways, I was watching this thing, reading it actually. I can read, believe it or not. I was getting my schooling done whenever I was a youngin', and I can do my reading. And so I was reading this article, and then I watched that video from the YouTube vision, and I didn't see nothing wrong with what the guy was saying. I mean, he's talking about the girl's wound parts, and she wasn't thick enough for my liking, but she was an attractive little young thing. And he's just talking about her, and I mean, I mean, that's kind of mild. I thought he was being rather civil to her. I mean, I don't talk to my women's like that. I mean, I just tell them how it is, and they go with it. But she's, and they write this big old article talking about that misogynist and chauvinism. I mean, what in the world is it? That ain't, those made up foreign words. I mean, that's what being a man's about, is being able to tell a woman what you think and telling her how to do stuff and giving her compliments, telling her how nice her boobies are and talking about the plump roundness of her butt and stuff. I don't understand what's wrong with that video and with that whole series, and they're talking about like it's just the most terriblest thing in the world, this guy talking to that woman like how a man's supposed to talk to a woman. I mean, she should feel lucky. I mean, though this guy, he ain't really no man. I mean, you seen him? He's just this big old fat blob. He's got this nasty scraggly beard. It ain't no ZZ Top beard, man. It ain't no nothing that you should be looking at and be proud of. He's got this scraggly, nasty beard. Food crumbs and stuff stuck in it. He ain't no man. He just talks like a man. And he just carries on and gives her a hard way to go talking about that. And I mean, I don't see the problem in that. That's just wrong. I mean, that's just so, it's wrong that he's the one doing it. I mean, they're all a bunch of little limp noodle, tweezer head, pimple popping pussies, but I mean, the words that he's saying, I mean, those words made sense to me. I mean, they resonated nice with me. I mean, I thought he was being a little nice to her. I mean, I would have just taken her back there in that bathroom and given her what for, or gone found her with my motorcycle, me and my motorcycle, and I mean, I'd show her things that my woman showed me, and I'd learn her how she's supposed to be a real woman and stuff. But I mean, come on, man, there ain't nothing wrong with that stuff. That's called being a man. That's what mans do. They tell women's how it is. They put them in their place. They do things to them, and the women's just go with it. That's what they're supposed to do. I mean, that's what the good book tells us. And Ezekiel, Jebediah 14:3. I mean, the book says that a woman's just supposed to bend over and grab her ankles and not wear no panties under that skirt, so the man's got easy access to her. I mean, that's what they should be doing. I mean, that girl, I mean, she didn't have a skirt. She didn't take a skirt. She said she didn't have no skirt. And that there pretend wannabe noodle man was talking about how he's going to give her a skirt and so she can wear it. And I mean, I wouldn't have told her and asked her permission to do it. I'd just given her the skirt or just ripped those dang pants right off of her and stuff. But I mean, that's just how real men is, and not how these little pretend men is. So anyways, I mean, that's just something that's been on my mind. It's been bothering me for a while now, hearing these people talk about that there stuff and these rights and all this stuff. And man, it don't make no sense to me. Why should you be letting someone have to say whenever they ain't got no rights? They ain't man. They ain't a man. They ain't got no rights. I mean, I don't agree with everything that be going on over there in that Middle East with those towel heads and stuff, but I mean, they at least got one thing right. The women, they just tell them what they're going to do, and the women do it or they get beat. I mean, I'm not a big fan of beating on women because, I mean, they got pretty faces and they're frail. I mean, women shouldn't be doing some of the things that men do. Like women going into the military. I mean, that's just wrong. There's only one reason for the military women to be there, and that's to be concubines. I mean, the military should be taking care of their men, giving them things, giving them outlets so that they can be with women of their own race and their own kind. They ain't having to slum down in with those foreign whores. I mean, you give them some concubines over there, and the men will be better performing. You don't gotta be worrying about them men getting no diseases or anything like that. And I mean, everything be a lot better overseas whenever you got your men, your military men in the army and those Marines doing what they supposed to be doing. I mean, they going out and fighting and they get all worked up and they got to do something about it. And I mean, you don't expect them to be like those old Greeks, the Athenians. I mean, they're not going to be no boy lovers. At least I hope not. That just ain't right either. But so the men, I mean, you got to take care of those men so they can take care of you. And that's pretty much my thoughts on that. I mean, it's just wrong. It's just wrong the way that people are thinking these days. It's just been going downhill ever since the Democrats be fighting for these things and giving people ideas that they're people. I mean, they ain't people. They ain't men. If they ain't men, they ain't people. So they're just there to serve us and make us feel better. So that's pretty much it. I mean, for right now, anyways. And well, I don't guess that is quite it, because how about their politics? I mean, everybody's getting all up in arms about all this stuff with the Republicans and the Tea Party movement. If you ask me, the Tea Partiers and these GOP guys, the elephants as they get drawn as, they just ain't. They still too liberal for my likings. I mean, they still trying to give people rights. I mean, they tried to give people who ain't white, who ain't men, they still trying to give them some certain rights, make them feel like they're more than they is. And I mean, that just ain't right, man. That just ain't right. I mean, this is our country. We found it. We made it. There weren't nobody here when we got here. So, I mean, all these other people coming in, this is our place. So we should be able to do how we want with it. I mean, all these other countries, they be doing what they want in their country, so why ain't we allowed to do what we want in our country? That just ain't right, man. It just ain't right. So, anyways, that would be it. I do believe this is, in case you didn't catch it at the start, I am Wayne Steele, and I am a man's man. Oh, it's always entertaining when Wayne Steele takes over the camera. Oh my goodness, I think that one might have been 10 kinds of wrong and then some. Oh well.